Hey guys, it's Joel, and I want to continue my series with book reviews that every clinician should read, or at least the ones that have been very helpful to me. So, this next one is really popular. It's called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel derKolk. It's a New York Times bestseller right now and has been for a while. Um, if you're a trauma therapist at all, you need to read this book. And most clinicians are going to brush up against trauma at some point. So, it's a really helpful thing to have read and to understand. The book is written in a way that you could give it to a relative. I mean, my grandmother could pick it up and read it. But she also, also it is clinically relevant and nothing in it is dumbed down at all. He's just a really good writer who's able to take very complicated ideas and turn them into plain English in a way that's helpful. So, I like The Body Keeps the Score. What derKolk is a big trauma guy, and he takes this idea of trauma kind of being this stuck experience that's encoded into our body brain, this kind of deep part of us that knows how the energy in our body should feel, the muscles in our body, our posture should feel, and it and kind of re-experiences. Sorry if the camera is shaking, my cat is rubbing up on my arm. But that's kind of stuck in our body memory, and it affects our kind of emotional and physical re-experiencing of traumatic events, and a lot of times not in a way that we're conscious of. Um, and so he goes through the history of that, starting in the 60s. He's an older guy, so he's seen a lot of the history of that, and then kind of critiques the way that the DSM-5, the assumptions that that book makes about trauma, and the way that we treat it. He goes through some approaches that work really well, some ones that don't, and kind of discusses that. And it's hugely helpful. It's kind of a summary of the state of where we are clinically treating trauma, what we're doing wrong, and then kind of goes through ways that we can make it better and kind of avenues to get in touch with. I recommend modalities to learn if you want to treat trauma well. Um, I recommend it to a lot of patients because it explains trauma so well that a lot of people feel very liberated when they read it and are like, yeah, this makes sense to me, and the way that it changed my creative ability is no longer there. And a lot of my patients really love the book. So if you are interested, check that out, and hope everything's going well.